welcome.
Hello everyone, it is I. And by the way, Pup, you literally made me laugh. Hello there, we are back. And now the spooky stuff is gonna be happening to Rebecca since he's seen the letter. Last time, we almost went into a car crash, because the ghost girl was in the back. So I wonder if we're gonna get killed now. But let's hope we don't make the wrong choice like last time. And let's begin. By the way, I'm so sorry that it was a late stream. My food did not come straight away. So hello, it's a late stream. It's nighttime, and I'm streaming a horror game. Let's go. Let's look at our relationship. We're doing pretty good. We're not affecting anyone besides Astrid. Let's begin. By the way, if the game is too loud or too quiet, let me know. If I'm too loud or quiet, let me know. Thank you. It begins innocent enough. Tuesday morning arrives like any other day before it, bright and clear. Even though it comes with an extra helping of the unusual October weather, I appreciate being able to catch a glimpse of the clear sky lately. After going through a bunch of sickness last week, it does something to lift the mood of that would otherwise be a dreary morning. And despite being mostly a creature of habit, I wind up waking earlier than usual because of it. Still no earlier than Isabella, it appears. I am amused that she'll take a day or two off because of what happened to Miss Cooper, but that doesn't seem to be the case. The sound of the morning news drifts from her unit when I walk past on the way to my mailbox. Chances are, around this hour, she's already dressed and ready to go, probably just waited for the next bus to arrive. I've tried following her example before, but I don't think I'll be repeating that.
Really? How can anyone be up before the sun is up?
I agree. It's a habit she got from home. She said instilled in by the kind of the life she grew up in. Like a clockwork, it's always at 4 a.m. either to help with the chores or prepare her little siblings for school. It surprised me at first. He didn't look like someone who could. In the end, I simply passed it off as one of those many things anyone have got to get used to around her. Not that I'm not that I'll ever fully understand. I'm my parents' only child. We aren't well off, but as so far I've lived a relative easy life. I don't have to think about bills or food for the next days or paying for any siblings tuition on top of my own, or supporting a sick father medicine. All I have to worry about were my grades. If it gained mom and pop and dad's approval, or what we'll be having for dinner. When put next to hers, they're all pale in comparison. They look less like problems and more like petty issues this way.
Petty issues.
But an unpunchant as it sounds, sometimes its ugly head rears at the most important moments. And sometimes they come through your mailbox in the form of a fancy looking letter, pretty ribbons and all. Whoever sent this has spent silly money on an envelope alone. Verging on ridiculous, really. I can already imagine Isabella wrinkling her nose once she sees this. Then she'll complain about unnecessary expenses and rich people problems. I'm almost afraid to touch it myself. As if simply brushing a hand against its crisp surface will be enough to put a crease in it, and it would be a terrible sight to the sender. But an extraordinary as I find this, it isn't really the first time I've received one. Most of the time, it's not even for me. So who am I to complain? Either way, no look of surprise across my face once I flip the envelope over to see my parents' name written in a neat script.
Nothing new then.
Damn, her parents are rich. The years in academy naturally brought with various connections, people from other fields, art, science, business, politics, you name it. This one, though, gives off a much personal vibe. Letters like this usually come from old students, people who've grown fond of my parents, and they, in return, treat like children of their own. I've only met a few of them. Most have moved on to become successful in their chosen careers, and little letters like this are their way of expressing gratitude. It's one thing Mum and Pa and Dad are proud of, rightfully. So I'm happy for them. But those are times. There was times I wish they'll remember they have a daughter here, a real one. Not that it's any importance now. It's not like they didn't raise me well and provided for me. They did. I wouldn't be where I am now if it wasn't for their hard work. And like a dirtful child, I do everything I can to give back. Oh, we're calling Mother Dearest. Even if it's a small a thing as a letting them know they got another mail waiting for them. The phone rings for a good minute before someone answers. Her voice as warm as I remembered.
Becca?
Hi, Mum. How's the conference going?
Well enough. Until your dad sprained his ankle.
Oh no, is it bad?
I'm alright. In case anyone in this family cares to listen, I'm alright. Very much alive, darling.
And there you have it. He'll be up and walking in a few weeks, don't worry. We're going to have to extend our stay here until it heals, though. Is something the matter?
Nothing big. Just that this mail arrived for you this morning.
A lie. Thankfully, she doesn't notice. Although, if I'm going to be honest, a small part of me yawned for her to do so and then asked me about it, but I do put down the idea almost as soon as it surfaces. I shouldn't make them fret. They're busy.
What does it say?
Raise your glasses, give cheers to the good times, blah blah.
Becca manners. That isn't how I taught her.
But Mother...
Sorry. You are cordially... it's an invitation, Mum, for a housewarming party. From, Hannah?
The name rings a bell, though at the moment I can't recall when or where I've heard it recently. It must be nothing too important if I didn't bother committing it to memory. Those are a lot of Hannahs in the world, so who knows?
Hannah.
She also wrote you a note, Mum. It says you used to be her private tutor at the Evans mansion, and that she misses you and would love to see you two again.
It makes my heart clench to read another up and lolly say the words to them, the same ones I want to tell them. Damn. She can't say, like, Rebecca has a problem of saying I love you to people she likes. Like, she can't say it to Ash. She can't say it to her parents. I see your problem, girl. I want to see you too. It's been years since I've been together as a family, and it's the one thing they haven't changed from childhood. If that mum and dad are still busy with their respective careers, out of the country, away from some meeting or symposium, sometimes for months on end. It only grew more fraction with the years until they're old enough to live on my own. Dinosaur dunce. I like to think that how I became independent as such as an early age, they always praised me for that. At times, I wish they didn't.
Evans? Oh, I remember now. Honey, it's Hannah. Hannah Evans. Remember? Bright girl, 2 years older than Becca?
Didn't she get married a few years ago? 7 now, I think. But they grow up so fast, these kids.
Mom? Yeah, it's Mom.
Yeah, she invited us to that too. Fonte de Medici. But we missed that one because you had to present your paper in Singapore.
We did send her a note after. Still a shame we couldn't attend, though. What is it about this time?
She sent another invite for a housewarming party. Becca, when is it?
This Friday, Mum.
Oh, that's too bad. We'd love to be there, but Da's not in a condition to go walking around.
Who calls their dad Dars? Da? Like Pops and Paps and all that. Yeah, but Da? Who calls their dad Da? I am very curious now.
I guess we'd have to decline again. I really miss that girl.
I could go in your place.
I let it slip without thinking. Personally, I've never been fond of gathering, regardless of how simple people make it seem. But if there's one thing I hate hearing, that disappointed note in Mum's voice always ranks first. Whether it's distracted at me or some other thing doesn't matter.
Are you sure? Don't you have work this Friday?
The event will be in the evening, Mum. It shouldn't take anything away from my schedule. It's all right. The invite's for 2 people. I can bring someone with me so things don't get boring.
Oh, and she brings Zach because when we are Hannah, Zach is there. But I thought no, Zach has his own invite. So who the fuck does Rebecca bring? 'Cause Ash wasn't there, was he?
I see. Maybe you can also meet Ashton?
Oh, there we go.
Mum, that's a sure no from him. He hates attending parties.
Yeah, but Ashton, he's a cutie.
But I'll see what I can do. If not, I can always bring Isabella with me. You know her. She won't say no if there's food involved.
She will say no because there's a ghost involved.
Okay, if it's not going to be a big problem for you, I don't see why not. We owe you this one, darling.
No problem, Mum. I'll even say hi to Hannah for you.
Please do. And let her know we'd love to see her once we're back in the city. Leave her our number or something.
I will.
But you know, the two of you would have become really good friends. Don't you remember? You met with her once. If my memory serves me right, you were 12 then?
This too, I can't recall. It's probably one of those meetings when we only talked a bit before going our ways. If she did leave an impression, I'm pretty sure I would have written it about it somewhere, or at least recognise her name. As it is, only a few people I remember clearly from that time in my life is Ashton and Mandy. Who the fuck is Mandy? To some extent. Mum must have sensed my confusion because he laughed. Who the fuck is Mancy?
Don't push yourself too hard, darling. Really? It felt like having 2 daughters back then. Sometimes I wish they didn't send her away to boarding school. But, well, you know how often that goes with them. Still, try talking to her while you're there.
Oh, we'll see. I'll let you know what happens after.
I'm looking forward to it, darling. Take care of yourself.
Will do. You too, Mum. Bye. Tell Da to be careful next time.
She chuckles then, a heartly one, tender and always light on my ears. She may be a stern teacher, but this is the part of her I love the most. The sound of it still echoes even as our call comes to an absurd end, bringing with it only memory from so many years ago. When life and responsibilities that accompany adulthood are things far from our minds. If given the chance, I'd love to go back to those. I don't dwell on it though, shaking it all away almost as soon as the memory forms a clear picture in my head. I always wonder how Isabella can easily pretend everything's normal over a phone call, then bounce back to her usual self immediately after. I've seen her do it plenty of times. For me, it's just draws me wherever energy I have. And with a whole day of teaching still ahead of me, I can't afford to look exhausted in front of my students. Even for a wee bit, it's never a good example to set. So with another sigh, I put everything in the back of my mind and thread back to my room. To rest my days await. 15 minutes later, I'm heading back out, dressed for the day, my car keys in hand. Ordinarily, I didn't stop for anything. There never need to be. That's the beauty of this apartment complex. It's quiet and everyone keeps to themselves. No useless platitudes in the morning. No need to wear a smile on your face lest other people are noisy enough to ask. Today, however, the morning broadcast still plays from Isabella's room. My brisk pace slows to a stop and frown gradually forms on my face.
She hasn't left.
Of course, this isn't unusual. There are times when I left earlier than she did, like last Friday before they open house. But those days are few and far between. It only happens in the district chance. Though the last part of that might be a bit of an extraction. However, with what's happened in the last few days, maybe today is one. The death of a friend isn't something anyone can brush off, and for someone like Isabella is the kind who gets attached to people easily. With Zachary, Ashton, and I, that has been the case. I can't imagine what she might be going through right now, especially after when the woman was someone she owned a lot. Despite their training being brief, I'd given her the space last night in defense. But perhaps today might be a proper time to check on her.
Oh, whatever. I've still got time anyway.
With a light step, I move close to the door, hand already posed to knock. Still, I do not, so until I hear her answer me.
Isabella? Belle? Are you in there?
No answer. After a second, I finally knock lightly so I didn't disturb her in any case she's sleeping, and her memory merely left the telly running last night. I have a feeling that I told her to go to work. Because we had an option to do two things. I think I told her to go to work last time. So I think she left the TV on, or the fucking demon is in there and she's not there. But if she is, then I don't know, I'm just overthinking. Never mind how she never lets that happen ever. Waste of electrical and all.
I just want to check on you before I leave. Is that okay? Are you going to work today, Belle?
Still nothing. Yeah, she went work already. I remember picking work.
I'm about to leave. If you want, I can drop you off.
Another round of knocking. Oh god, the demon's in there. Oh fuck, why did that scare me? Why did that scare me? She lent it a year ago after I complained about the mess and offered my help in cleaning up. I thought the gesture was completely unnecessary back then. After all, I could always knock. But she never did bother taking them from me, always returning it or turning away from the conversation whenever I insist. At one point, I've simply stopped trying to hand it back to her.
Isabella? I'm coming in, all right?
Without waiting for her answer, I push the door open and step inside. It's a fucking mess. Her unit still a mess. No, I should have just kept my first response. It's a fucking mess. Instant noodle cups on her table, a pile of clothes on the other side, papers strewn about everywhere, an unkept bed, among other things. This much is a given, will always be a given. I've been here 7 times already, and I still wonder how she can function like a human being with this place in this state. However, that's neither here nor there. I'm not sure what I'm expecting, but clearly not finding an empty flat. Granted, she could have left earlier, far earlier than usual. But she never ever leaves without making sure she unplugged everything. That's something she never doesn't forget to do. It doesn't help that her bedroom appears unused this morning. Bathroom. Another habit, and it can only mean she hasn't been here since. Last night? Oh! She's at Zachary's! Okay. So this is the part when she didn't come home, and she went to Zach's. So she went to Zach, and this is where she walked in, and she starts ringing Ashton. They go for a hunt. Ashton rings. I know where we are now. Let's go. Perhaps even since the morning after Miss Cooper's death. Either idea doesn't sit well with me. What's the news we've been hearing lately?
The authorities are still trying to find the cause of death for all the victims. Early investigation revealed most of them were employed under Briar Realty Corporation at the time of death. Meanwhile, BRC has refused to comment on this.
Gathering my wits, I immediately placed a call to her mobile. Yeah, here we go. So she already went to Zachary's. It rings for a good minute and sound of comfort in itself, but when another minute rolled by without her answering, well, I'm not a woman phone to panic suddenly about temper, maybe, but never panic, despite how I may sound when speaking. Hello, champs. Welcome. And when it unmutely goes straight to her voicemail, I sigh is the only thing I let out. The pause doesn't last long, though. In the next moment, my fingers are already moving across the screen in search of the 2 people who might be able to help. Yep, and that's when Ashton takes over as well. It's Ashton's number I find first and dial. Call it a habit, but even Isabella thinks he's dependable when the certification calls for it, despite how much they given each other grief. That's already says a lot about him. There's Zachary, but around this hour he's probably still sleeping if he has his freelance work. It's very likely he's just gotten himself in bed. Here's the last person I want to bother, if anything. The wait doesn't take long. Soon? Okay, that was a Thai yawn. I thought that was a creepy voice just then. Then Ashton's voice echoes through the receiver, rough and still heavy from sleep. He never did grow fond of mornings. Mood.
Christ, what time is it? What's up?
Not you, apparently.
Good one. Did you call us early just to make that joke? I'm going back to sleep.
That's a mood.
No, Ash, hold on. This is important.
Becca, stakeout last night. Make this quick. I've still got a few hours before the chief bothers me.
Sorry, I'll let you go back to sleep after. It's just that... Wait, you were on a stakeout last night?
Did I say that? Shit.
Oh yeah, and that's when he ran into Lorraine McCall when she's drunk. Oh, I miss her.
Forget I said that. Forget I said anything. Forget we had this conversation.
So, you have no idea?
About what? About what? I also have no idea what
Oh,
we're
Grey
talking
Wolf,
so
control
early in the
yourself.
morning, so there's that.
Control yourself, Wolf.
No, will you stop sleep talking or whatever for a second?
But Sleepy Ash is a good Ash.
Didn't come home last night. She's gone.
Oh my god, he doesn't remember.
Isabella!
What do you mean? Why is it loading? What do you mean? Instead of an answer, a brief pause comes after. followed by something blunt and heavy hitting a hard surface and a string of rather colourful curse from him. Why did he fell out of his bed, most likely. The moment might have been one of the many things I've been keeping myself and remember fondly of the next few days. If anything, if things aren't the way they are. There we go. Waiting for that. When he picks up again, there's no chance of sleep left in his in his voice.
Say that again, from the top.
Isabella's gone, Ash. She didn't come home last night. Her flat's empty. She left her telly running. You know she doesn't do that at...
Okay, Becca, stop. Calm down first. You're starting to panic.
I'm not!
You are. Breathe. One person's not going to simply disappear like that. This is Isabella we're talking about.
Yeah.
Did you try calling her?
What did you think is the first thing I did? She's not picking up. It went to her voicemail.
How about Zach? Did you check with him?
Not yet. I didn't want to bother him. You know he has trouble sleeping and all that.
All right, I'll go ask Zach. I'll call you back.
Yep, and that's when he's like, "You bitch." She's that Zax.
No, wait.
He ends the call before I can utter a single word of protest. But for the first time since entering this room, tension is gone from my shoulders and my breathing has eased. The bed creaks as I sink down on it with a sigh, and the telly still blares the same uninteresting news, and I'm surrounded by clutter. All the same, it feels strangely calm to be here, without any worrying nagging at me. I'll have to say sorry to Zachary later for sending Ashton his way this early, but for now, replying on the letter for this isn't the wrong choice. It never will be. That's something I won't ever doubt in him, much like his promises. And true to his words, he calls back only a few minutes after the last one has ended.
She's with Zach.
There we go.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. She could have at least sent a message last night.
What are you, her mother?
Yes. It's one thing to hear that from Isabella, but Ashton?
I don't want to hear anything like that from you.
I'm serious. You've got to stop treating her like she's one of your students, Becca. You don't have to keep tabs on her every time.
She really does, though. Have you seen her room?
Last I checked, she's only 3 years younger than the two of us. That's almost a decade gap from those kids you're teaching, you know.
Yeah.
Says the person who keeps calling her Scaredy Cat.
You are all kids.
That's not related at all.
Oh, you simp.
Anyway, I'll go check how she's doing. Don't stress yourself out. You go ahead to work.
Wait, you? Don't you have a precinct to be at? Whatever happened to not treating her like one of my students? Because if anyone's going to ask me, I think you're doing the same thing.
Zach said it's an emergency. Something happened last night.
Emergency?
He didn't put in those exact same words, but it sounded like it.
Ash, what really happened? Is Isabella fine?
She's alright. She's safe. Zach let her stay the night after she... Look, okay. Z-Man wasn't clear about it, but let me handle this. I'll check on her. I'll bring her home.
Sounds like a lie if I ever heard one. The sort when the omits things so people won't fret, and I'm sure wherever I should be happy, he cares that much to do so. Ash, my beloved! There shouldn't be a need for this between us, is there? We grew up together, didn't we? He knows I'm capable of at least hearing out the truth without ignoring at me for the rest of the day. He knows me better than that. You are my second favourite character. Who's your first? I'm very curious. I know him better than that. Frankly, there's plenty of other things to say about this. But despite and after all the trouble we went through, with how things are moving at the moment, only one thought occurs to me. Alex from Stardew. Oh, I can handle sorry for the trouble. Wait, what did I say? I forgot. I was too busy reading chat. It feels like a lie if I haven't heard one. Okay, we'll talk about... I don't want to push it because I feel like he might be like, hey, I told you I'm not really allowed to say. So we're going to say sorry for the trouble. There we go. I didn't want to put it as we are very... Why are you posed like that? It is a good pose, but you look so angry. Do they all look angry? No, you look fabulous. I miss you, queen. Baby. Yeah, you're right. And you're right. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't realise. I think Ashton is our next person. And then we got Luke. We're gonna kill that fucker. Don't worry. We're gonna We're gonna kill that. I recognise his concern for what it is. It's not new for him to get out of his way for us, and to be honest, this is what I love about him. As much as I would have loved to take this off his hands, it'll only be selfish for me to insist, considering he knows my other commitments. It's to do so feels like it'll be trampling over that kindness he seldom offers to anyone.
Sorry for putting you up to this.
Nah, don't mention it. You've got other things you need to worry about. Take care of those first.
Well, yeah, we have to deal with kids.
This is a small thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I still owe you one.
Oh, I can name a few things you can do about that. You know, there's this ice cream shop that opened near the movie house. I could use.
Oh, wait, is he asking us on a date?
Okay, let's stop right there. That's enough. On second thought, maybe I'll just think about it some other time.
Harsh.
That sounded like a date to me. We both laughed. The sound are lighter and more comfortable. Like the old days when I wayward 26 years old is at the bottom of the list we need to worry about. This is how we find a common ground. We may not agree on a lot of things. We may see things the other way round. But the give and take is something we learnt to get used to over the years. Wherever it's like this, confidence in him is the least I can offer as a thanks.
Really. Thanks for this, Ash.
I'll let you know what happened afterwards. I promise. I'll call you later. You have a good day. Bye.
I admit the way he puts it isn't comforting enough. He can be blunt like that, so many unknown vulnerable, so many words left unsaid. I wish he simply laid them out in the open, because like this, I'm more inclined to think there is exaggeration on the other part. If it is from Zachary or Ashton, I don't know. In the end, all I can do is wait and go about my day and hope for the best. Before leaving, I spare Isabella's room one last glance, disturbingly quiet now without her in it. I'll get answers from her later. For now, my concerns are best left here. The rest of the day slips away in a blur. Despite my best effort in keeping this morning events from surfing in my mind, it sticks. In a way, everything today simply feels like a reminder. Every conversation, regardless of how casual, every topic, no matter how mundane it seems. I blame the news entirely for this. Recently happening brought quite a few interesting stories to everyone's attention, mostly supernatural talk of death. And when local talks about death here, anyone can be sure of hell counts on someone bringing up that mansion Isabella saw not a few weeks ago. Even my own students won't stop yapping about it. I think it's even worse when it was put back up on the market. Now there are more stories. Alicia, you okay, baby? Alicia, you okay? Yeah. Sorry about that. My dog was having a little nightmare. Now there's more stories. If this is a world reminding me of what mattered, or simply because of the atmosphere around this time of the year, cause of it, I'd rather take the later. At least then, I can be sure people will forget about it in a fever of another set of holidays after. Nevertheless, this may be a painful thing to admit, but listening to them is a pleasant distraction while waiting for Ashton's call. I hope he didn't forget. The school day is about to end soon.
No, that's got nothing with what I heard.
Who the fuck is this? A male student.
You always hear stuff. I'm not sure if half of them's even real.
No, really. Rowan knows about it. He used to be in the same class with them.
I can hear you from back here, you know.
Whatever, Rowan.
Where the ruin?
Anyway, the story goes like this. There were 3 of them. They entered the mansion on a dare, and they were all never seen again.
No shit.
No one knows what happened to them up to this day.
You couldn't make it a more interesting story.
Scary shit, man.
Scary shit, man.
Cock and bull story. Calling it now.
No, you don't get it. Why don't you ask Miss Gales then? Better yet, why don't you go inside the place? I'm betting my allowance you can't do it.
Don't fucking throw kids in there. Their talk immediately halts when I look up, all of them suddenly pretending to be engrossed in their country activity. Still, a word to put a stopper to this nonsense is needed. Creativity and imagination fostered by those stories is one thing, but reckless ideas should be corrected before anything potentially trash comes from it.
Back to your worksheets, everyone. And I don't want to hear any talk of dares or going inside that mansion. It's private property now. You'd all better stay away from it before.
Oh shit! At the noise, the whole lot of them go silent. You can almost hear a pin drop. The look of their faces would have made a funny picture, but there's irrelated at the moment. If that is a student loitering around, someone's going to be in trouble.
I'll be back. If you're done, you can leave your worksheets on my desk. Keep the noise to a minimum while I'm gone, okay?
I can sense their eyes on me as I walk out the door. A muted kind of anticipation. A bit unnerving, but it's far more agreeable than the feeling of being watched I've been enduring those past few days. Class is still in session for most of the rooms. I feel like something's going to happen here. In a few hours, once the final bell rings, however, this place will once again be filled with busy chatters and footfalls on an everyday circle in itself. For the moment, I let the silent guide me, my ears focusing on whatever sound there are or there will be, searching for the distraction clinging of metal. Good minutes pass, and for the puncture of it, only my steps echo through the halls. And another. I'm about to turn around when the sound of it halts my footsteps. It's a little muffled, infrequent, but grows louder after each inventory. With the hallway devoid of people, if I don't put a stop to it soon, it'll start to disturb the other classes still going on. Looking for it doesn't take long. All I do is follow the racket, and shortly I'm standing in front of the nondescript row of uncoated lockers. Ah, fuck me. Do not make me open something. And from inside one of them, sitting in the middle, comes a noise. Annoyingly disruption now that I'm facing it. Like someone's pounding on the metal door from the inside, hoping to get out. Leaning forward, I try to get a glimpse for the horizontal slats of whatever causing it. But in this light, only darkness greets me and another round of clanging. Louder than previous one. More desperate. I've heard stories about this, the other school, from a few colleges who had to deal with it once or twice. Although, personally, I've never encountered one myself, and I can only thank the heavens I haven't yet. But
If this is another kid some other student stuffed in a locker.
with a huff, I straighten up and study it briefly with a frown. Without delay, I reach for the handle and... Okay. Well, let's begin. At once it stopped. Okay, I put my worried face on. Immediately replaced by a muffled sound of a mobile phone ringing. I give the door a few raps before taking my attention away. A second. Another. When nothing or no one responds, I finally alert my eyes and pull out my mobile. There you go. Ashton's voice greets me from the other end of the line, utterly cheerful in the light this morning matters. Or maybe because of it, just expecting some grave or serious news from him. Instead, I get this.
Hey, Becca.
Well, you sound happy.
I do? My voice still sounds the same to me.
There are only two things I know of that could be the reason of... You scared me. There are only two things I know that could be the reason for that. Sweet, he's gotten a good lend of his case. From the sound of it, I'm going to assume it's the former. That lately that case is all that running inside his head. Is there ever a third one? I've never heard of it yet. It can only be one or two things.
Ignore that. How's Isabella?
Drove her home a few minutes ago. I think she's sleeping now. Sorry this took a while. Z-Man gave us the puppy eyes after we tried to leave. Had some food prepared for us, apparently.
You finally did jump scare me. Good job. I hope you're proud of yourself.
That's all right. Is she okay now?
I'm not really sure. She didn't say anything to Zach, but she mentioned a plan to take a few days off from work. It was a passing comment before I left her, so I didn't get to ask.
Must be because of Rose's death.
Could be. It doesn't seem like it from Zach's story, though. He said she was shaking when she got there.
Shaking?
The word trigger a memory from those days ago on the way home from her little treat after she sold the mansion. I didn't think much of it at the time, but I won't lie, it scared me. The terrified look on her, and the sounded when she suddenly screamed.
Becca? Still there?
Yeah, I just remembered something. Sorry, don't mind me.
Look, if you can talk to her, get the story out of her. That would be great. She wouldn't talk to Zach or me even when I tried. Maybe she'll speak up if it's you?
I'll give it a go, but I can't promise anything, okay? But thanks for letting me know about this. If you want, I can get you that ice cream thing
Oh,
you mentioned
yes!
tonight.
Get the
thanks.
date! Get the date! We're gonna go on a date!
Just as thanks for all the trouble I've caused today.
We're going on a date!
Believe me, I'd love to take you up on that offer, but I've got something on my schedule this evening. Maybe some other time?
Oh, you bitch.
Thanks a lot, Becca.
Oh, how dare... Oh, I'm so upset now. I need to take that off. There's a short pause before he cuts the call from the end. Once again, I'm all alone with my thoughts. But rather than answer, all I get from are questions, more of them, one on top of the other, as the world isn't planning to give me a break anytime soon. But that's the problem I'll tackle later. Right now, I got students who need to be taught follies of eavesdropping if the slightly open door of their smoother laughter from the inside is an instruction.
All right, enough eavesdropping. All of you, back to your seats.
Is that your boyfriend, Miss Scales?
Fucking kids just peeking out from the doorways.
None of your business.
He totally is.
A quick shuffle follows that comment. If there's a retort prepared to be a tip of my tongue, I drop everything pretense of letting it loose on them. There's no use arguing with teenagers sometimes, boisterous as they all are. They still are my kids, though. Rough around the edges, maybe, but still my kids. Nope! Shaking my head, I head back to my classroom with a smile, but not before taking a glance at the locker again. It hasn't made a sound since.
Oh, must be the wind.
Bitch, that wasn't the wind. That's something inside trying to grab you. Okay. So without another look, I leave it alone. Ah! Oh. I just hit my hand. That scared me. Okay. I'm fine. I just punched my desk a bit, but it's fine. Okay. Fuck me. Thank you for that fucking jump scare game. Fuck's sake. I was not expecting that. Oh my god. Beep beep. Look at that fucking locker. Jesus. All in all, the entire school day ends with a hitch. It could have gone better, mind you, but the exam nearing, getting out of work nearly before the sun has set looks as though it's far off dream from now. At least until they're over, and then we have the holidays to look forward to. There really are times when you simply take what you can get for the time being.
Nothing wrong with that.
All I'm hoping for is this continue until the whole day ends. There's still that promise I made to Ashton, and frankly, the idea alone doesn't sound good. If Isabella doesn't talk to them, what makes them think that she'll talk to me? It's not like there's a history, is there? Just because I can handle Isabella's childish tendencies doesn't mean I can do it all of the time.
Really, those two give me too much credit.
Nevertheless, I'm keeping my finger crossed, if only because I'm also worried about her, and both Zachary and Ashton deemed it important that someone gets the story out of her. Here's to hoping it got nothing to do with that letter again. I understand if she feels a bit stressed lately, but keeping that story going on for more than a week is, it's bound to get tiring at some point. Seriously, I merely don't want this to end. I couldn't hear it. You bitch. I hear the elevator music. What the fuck? Can someone else hear elevator music? Oh, you're not sorry. If you were sorry, you wouldn't have done it. God willing, the CAF special will help smoother things out. You know, that fucking sound alert will be fucking notched up for bits so much that it won't be free. I couldn't hear the sound, so I wanted to know what it was. Wow. After all, it's always been food with her, or money, or mostly food. At this hour, the cafe is usually filled with a brim of people. That's the reason Isabella and I rarely ever go here during the evenings. It's simply too much of a hassle when we can prepare food ourselves in the comfort of our homes, and there really isn't much reason to eat out lately. With what life is going on, a busy stake, no time for long line, better spend that doing something productive, yes?
Lucky there isn't one tonight.
Only a few people are diddling around the counter. 4 of them, in fact, a woman in her 60s and a teenager busy with his phone. Both are just wait to be served their orders. The other 2? Oh shit, why is this prick here? And why are you with the child? Wait, do you know the child? You better not touch the child. A child! The other 2, a posh-looking man and a child who I immediately recognize as Kylie. Wait, Kylie is the fucking, fuck, what's that name? Cousin? No. Niece! Oh my god, Kylie is the niece! I'm so fucking stupid. Appears to have not yet picked anything they want. For some reason, my stare lingers at the guy. Tough, dressed relatively well, and looks harmless. Fuck that, he's not he is harmless. He is harm. I haven't seen him around those parts before. Someone new in the neighborhood, perhaps. I'm really upset that I did not notice that Kylie was the fucking niece. Even so, there's something familiar in him. It feels like I've seen him somewhere before. That also begs the question of why Kylie is with him. Of course, the girl easily takes a liking to anyone who buys her sweets, so it's both a bit worrisome and unsurprising. Blue-haired child! And the blonde bloke doesn't look particularly thrilled with the company either. I turn my eyes away from them soon enough once the guy is at the counter appears ready to take my order. That, and I also hate to be accused of ogling strangers.
2, evening special, takeout.
He already punched my order before I even finished. Saying my order out loud is really more for formality's sake and made out of habit. He also knows Isabella and I long enough that we ever drop by here. He already knows it and already it always becomes because I'm buying dinner for the two of us. I rarely visit here alone if I can help it, but Isabella can sometimes be a bad influence. He gives me a small smile before leaving to prepare my order, while I wish for my wallet when...
Look, you little ankle biter. If I buy you the biggest parfait they have, will you please behave?
You little shit face. Posh looking man. You mean prick looking man?
I would just like 10 minutes of peace and quiet.
You said you'll get me some bread pudding this time.
Ah, ankle biter.
Yeah, well, darling, they said they ran out of it. Just pick another one so we can be on our way.
Kick him in the balls.
That parfait doesn't look as cute as the one my mom bought me.
Parfait is just ice cream, sweetheart. It'll melt no matter how dainty it appears. In the end, it'll all look like an ugly puddle. Now come on, just pick one. It could even be the most expensive one on that list. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Hey, yeah, you can't swear in front of the child.
Oh, what I would give for someone to buy you hands right now.
How fucking dare you? You do not talk to the child like that. Unless it's me saying that to a child, then yes. Joking. Twitch friendly, of course. What? The child has a big head, literally. My whole attention instantly snaps back at them and their conversation. Jumping to a conclusion isn't something I'm particularly fond of, especially when all are baseless assumption. But you can't really trust a stranger those days. No one's around the calf seems to have noticed his words either. Very suspicious words. Still, I don't move. Yet. But my hands are already shifted from my wallet to the book I'm carrying. A hard-bound textbook. Look harmless, but in a social call for it, it might be a good deadly weapon. Yes! Yes! Hit him. Hit him with the book. Might. I haven't gotten the chance to try on anywhere so far. No, I want to. Punch the man. Today could be the day. Yes.
But you promised.
Look, if you don't want a parfait, how about...
Punch him. We'll go to jail.
How about a Bonify pie?
But it'll be
I'm
so
sure it'll
worth
taste just
it.
as good as any other bread pudding.
It'll be so worth it, Wolf. It'll be so worth it.
I'll even buy you the entire tray.
Oh my god!
How does that sound?
His fucking name changed. Suspicious looking man.
That's not what you said before.
Well, sweetheart, adults change their minds sometimes.
Punch him.
You said if I come with you, you'll buy me a bread pudding, and I did, and now you won't keep your promise.
That sounds so wrong.
I want to go home. I miss my mom.
Oh my god. She makes it sound so bad, but I know it's her uncle. I mean, it's a blonde man with a blue-haired child. Yeah, but it's because it is very odd. They don't look the same, I agree.
No, darling, if I remember correctly, and I have a good memory, honey. What I said was, if you come quietly
Oh
with
my
me,
god.
I might buy you one.
Oh my god, this man deserves to be beaten.
The quiet part didn't happen.
Oh my god.
Though now that I'm sober, I think this is a bad idea. And I should just ship you someplace else for that peace and quiet.
Oh my god. Can I please give me an option to hit him? Oh, that's it. Yes! Yes! No hesitation. In a few places, he's within my reach, and without warning, I'm slamming the flat area to the butt against his skull. Oh. Save that. Okay, I want to relive that.
Ow!
Yes! There's a cry of pain followed by him instantly crouching down, hands nursing the sore spot. We're going to jail for sure. No, it's fine. Almost comedically, if this was a different situation, the safety of a ST graduate student isn't at stake, and probably feel sorry for him. I mean, has anyone seen how thick this book is?
Get behind me, Kylie.
Miss Pink!
It's amusing how fast her expression changes from a pouty one earlier to something that is utter delight upon seeing me. Yes! Look at me, man! I hit you! And there's no time for any pleasantries, not even a quick one, because soon the man straightens, and I'm ready for my favorite newfound weapon for another hit. Yes! Please give me an option to hit him again. Except this time, he's ready. And before I can land another hit one, his hand shoots up to catch my wrist in a foam hole. Yeah, take the kid with us. Oh, shit. And the look on his face.
Bloody hell, woman, what's your problem?
I'm protecting a child. To say he's pissed with would be a complete understatement. Had I have been a weak-willed sort, I probably cowered under his sharp gaze. Surprised that he's not bleeding. We did not hit him hard enough. That simply isn't how I roll. If he thinks he can scare me and do as he pleases here, just because I'm a woman, or whatever his reasons may be, he got another thing coming for him. Get another butt hit. Do it. So instead I returned to him with the same intent and the same volume.
What's my problem? You're the one who has a problem here. Rotten bowbags like you don't deserve the freedom to run this town. What are you doing to this girl?
And why is that any of your business, pray tell?
Oh, it's my business if I make it to be. Now, release me or I'll call the police.
You think that scares me, Daisy?
Oh, fuck you.
I have a name, you sleazy douchebag.
Oh, Rebecca, I love you.
Oh, I'm sure.
Hit him again. His grip on my hands only tightened when I attempt to shake it off. Wait, his name changed? What is it? His tone may be dripping with anger and sarcasm, but the glimmer in his eyes says it all. He's getting a kick out of it. Riling people up, getting on their nerves, invading their personal space. He knows exactly what and which buttons to push. The nerve of this person. The nerve of this asshole. If he thinks I'm going to give in to his goading pleas, he might as well just kiss his sorry behind. Hit him with where it hurts. Shout for no. Ooh, hit him where it hurts.
You have until the count of 5 to
Let's
let me
go.
and step out of my personal
I know
space.
that's gonna go down. I don't care. This bitch. Hit him. A fair warning. Fairer than any I can offer for people of his kind. I'm already being considered. Hell, this asshole doesn't even deserve a warning. If he doesn't listen, well, he's as well responsible for what will happen next anyway. I think shouting for help will be natural as well. Yeah. No, I think he would like it if he said help, because he would feel powerful, I think. Like, I think he would feel powerful. Like, this woman is calling for help. I feel powerful. You're weak. I like that. That's what I think. Because we are actually fighting back, he doesn't like that.
Or else what?
Oh, God. Hit him.
Such vulgar words coming out of that pretty mouth. A gorgeous flower like you
Kill it.
shouldn't even be saying.
Kick him.
Don't say I didn't warn you, bowbag.
Yeah.
Love that intensity, Daisy.
No. Kick him.
FYI, I like feisty in a woman. It gives them this
No.
certain charm.
No. Kick him. Kick him. I have no regrets. I'm so happy we are kicking him.
Why don't you?
Nope.
5.
No, show me a picture. I want to see it. Show me the picture. A second of silence. Then without any preamble, my legs move in one fueled motion and deliver a swift, powerful, well-placed kick to his nether groins. I feel so happy. Most villains or evil dads in anime are good looking. He is not. I agree. Needless to say, the effect is instructorious. He yelps absurdly, drops to his hold on me, and kneels over, howling from the pain. I can see tears forming in the corner of his eyes too, though the mere sight of it prompts not 2 ounce of remorse for me. I would have been gentler if he isn't such a dirty little prick with an ego too big for his head. Woohoo! Oh, I did not hear that audio. I'm so sad. His balls right now? Too bad. Whether this obstructs any chance of him ever procreating remains to be known. But a part of me is already praying he doesn't ever breed after this. Agreed. We don't need no more of him in this world.
You mad woman!
Get owned, bitch.
I warned you, you ass.
Why you?
A sneezing douche.
This is harassment, I'm telling you! Harassment!
You say that when you were like grinning and calling me darling and Daisy, bitch.
Then why don't you tell that to the police once they get here,
You despicable! Whatever you're assuming I am, I'll have you know it's all in your head. None of it's true.
I like the kid and just there like, yup.
You best have that pretty brain of yours checked before that gets worse. What is wrong with you? Is this the face of someone who'd do anything
Yes.
suspicious?
Yes, very much so. Even I'm scared of the kid grab her and get her out of there, yep.
Oh?
But our
You think
food!
a stranger luring an innocent child with promises of sweets before whisking them away from their parents doesn't warrant any suspicion? You have a very funny definition of suspicious, asshole. Maybe you're the one who should have that head of yours checked.
The kid asked me to buy her sweets. You're the one
Wait!
who's suspicious here.
Do you not know her? I thought that was your fucking niece.
I'll have you know, I have a wife.
Oh my god, you say that while you was trying to flirt with me? That much, at least, appears to be have a silver of truth to it. He even makes a show of brandishing his left hand to my face with much flourish. Sure enough, a wedding ring is there, though all that earned him is an unimpressed glare from me. Immediately, a small part of me starts to feel sorry for whoever poor woman married this sod. I don't understand why he has to bring her up either, as the mention of her alone will magically present a solution to his problem. He must truly be a remarkable woman if she can handle a dirtbag like him.
And even my wife of all people in this bloody city, has never, I'm telling you, accused me of such a scandalous thing! You crazy woman!
I mean, you cheated on her. You got her best friend pregnant. You got her pregnant, and now you're luring a child.
Married or not, you're still a sleaze. Honestly, I feel...
Miss Pink, why are you fighting with my teal?
Oh my gosh, he is. Kylie, why did you not say this at the very beginning? Whatever words still left to be said, his dies on my tongue. The same thing goes for the sleaze. Besides us stands, Kylie glances at us with the same curious stare as he often brings with her. I know that looked all too well a precerous child through and through. She doesn't say anything further. Her gaze simply moves between us, eyeing us both carefully, clearly anticipating an answer. Child, say something. Literally. From experience, when it gets like this, a children her age is sure a sign they won't leave you until you've given them an answer they satisfied with. Lying won't do either. It has dissolved into a shouting match, for heaven's sakes. And did he just say teal? Something falls straight to my pit of my stomach at that. But my tone is gentle when I finally address her, void of my approach hesitation of what might be the first hint of embarrassment. I pointedly ignore the letter. It can very well be the hunger speaking.
Kylie, sweetie, do you know this oaf?
Yeah, he's Teal Luke.
Right at that moment, my brain stops. Every line of thought, every argument I still have against the man beside me, despite in a haze. Amid all of it, one memory gets triggered from a few days ago. Is everyone looking at this, or are they all blind? I think they're all blind.
Tio? The one you mentioned before? The uncle? The guy Rowan wanted to impress? Or was that a dare? I'm sorry, I can't recall. Is it the one who promised he'll take Big Brother someplace cool?
Yeah, the one in the same. Don't you know who he is?
I sure as hell don't, darling. Because if I do, I wouldn't have let everything I said earlier come out of my mouth.
He's my Teal
God damn, you poor thing.
Oh. He's your godfather. That's nice.
The one and only. Did I get that right, Tio?
More than right, sweetheart.
I don't regret anything. I still am happy that I kicked you in the balls.
I'm sure Miss Pink here understood everything you said quite perfectly.
Can I hit him again? Yeah, let's beat his ass more. I agree. Whatever it is that landed on the bottom of my stomach, Peru has shot straight up to my face and stayed there. The heat from it slowly spreading to my cheeks, colouring my face almost the same shade of my pear. It's only the earth would swallow me whole right here now. His eyes are on me. I can feel them, jeering, mocking. I can't even bring myself to look at him. What's in there? Amusement? I doubt it. He's probably having the time of his life right now. If it's not his real father nor his real uncle, let's change his face. Yes. But I know I can hear the sneer in his tone alone when he talks. He has that smug grin on him, which I may or may not want to punch off his face at the present. Just the hell out of it. Yes, but damage control. Fuck that. I'm sorry, Kylie. Fuck you, bitch. Of course, a sorry is most important thing to say, but no matter how much I will myself to do, my own body refused to budge. My own mouth refused to open. My head rejects to the very idea of looking at him. No sorry for that asshole. Not to someone who has an ego too big for his head. Let his pride suffer. I am not going to eat my words for the sake of stroking his damn ego. Less reason for him to gloat. The child don't matter that his godfather got hit with a book and got his... Yeah, she does not give a fuck about that. She's like, yeah, you can hit him. He's used to that. But he is my godfather, by the way. He is getting me food. Kylie, however, I own an explanation.
Don't worry, Kylie. I'm not fighting with your Tio. This is just a discussion. A very serious discussion between a very mature adult and one that's not.
Haha, yes.
Really? But I've never seen Tio angry before.
Are you sure? Because he is a prick.
It's because he's losing the argument. But don't ever follow his example, Kylie. You should always learn to be patient, even if things aren't going your way, okay?
Oh sure, a discussion. And it involves hitting
Yes.
random strangers you meet at
Yes.
a cafe with a book.
Yes. Yes.
A hardbound
Yes.
book.
Yes.
Mind you, the little me hasn't recovered yet.
Ha ha ha! Little you, I agree. It is very little.
My future generation never survives from this. We are going to have more than words, woman!
Do it, bitch. I don't allow Kylie hears his trade and cover both her ears with my hands. As fond of as he is of the man, there are words he shouldn't be saying in front of a child. How can he not know about that? More importantly, how on earth did someone like him become a godfather? Who allowed that? Maybe I should talk to Miss Slurs about it. Warn her about he's not a good influence for her children.
Language! How can you use such crude words in front of her?
He would call his balls little me, agreed.
Your goddaughter can hear you, for heaven's sake.
Oh, and you didn't. If I remember everything correctly, you called me a rotten beau.
So you're going to repeat it in front of her, just to make a point? What, are you 5? Even 5-year-olds are more sensible than you.
Even Isabella, I can say that with much considerably.
Even 5-year-olds are more sensible than
Oh my
you.
god, this prick.
See what I mean?
Are you fighting again?
Oh, no. Like I said, we were just having a discussion. We're actually done now. But you need to promise Miss Pink you will never grow up like this guy. Good kids don't do what he's doing.
Yeah, Bella would have just kept beating his ass, I agree.
But I like Tio.
No, you don't. You like his money. You like the food he buys you.
And I'm quite sure Tio likes you too. But liking people is different. Just because you like him doesn't mean you have to be like him. There are better role models for you aside from him.
Like you?
Yes!
Not exactly what I'm trying to get at, but if that's what you want, I don't see why not.
Okay, I want to be like Miss Pink someday.
Yes!
I want to be a teacher,
And kick people in the
and
balls.
I promise I won't be like Tio, even if he's a gazillionaire.
Yes!
Wow. Turning my own goddaughter against me.
Yup. Fuck you, baby.
How mature of you, Miss Pink.
His tone makes me pause. For the first time ever, this talk started. I look at him. Briefly, something flashed behind his eyes, something close to what it might be an expression of falling, dismay, and I'm not sure. Because his brother or someone had a baby and made him goddaughter. It pauses almost as soon as it appears. What's that about? Does he actually like having Kylie around? It doesn't seem like it from a get-go, but at that fun smile on him, it's anything to judge by, then maybe.
Don't worry, Tio. If you buy me bread pudding tonight, I'll like you again.
Yeah, buy her food, prick.
Aw, if that's all it takes, consider it done, sweetheart.
Yeah, be nice to her.
We might have to find another place to buy it from, though. Somewhere safe, where a random crazy woman isn't going to attack us out of the blue.
No, you deserved it.
Let's go.
Okay, bye, Miss Pink. I still like you, just not more than Tio anymore.
Ah,
See you.
Kylie already pulling him to the next cab before I can protest on it. Although it's not like there's anything to object on further. I may view that man Luke as someone hateful, maybe to the point of seeing him an eyesore, but I don't think that'll be any bearing on what the child thinks of him. When you think about it, if she admires him so much like that, then maybe there's still something agreeable in him. Nope. Part of him only Kylie sees. He still has a gill of wink at... He fucking winked at me! This prick. Before they disappear from behind the door, so maybe not. The balls, kick it. However, there's no moment to ponder about it. The balls to the wink. A second later, the guy of the counter waves me over and hands me a paper bag as soon as I paid. He offers me another smile before I leave. Normally I return it simply for the sake of returning it, but don't at all, with the later happening more confidently. For the time being, I do so freely. After that encounter, the scene we caused, seeing a friendly gesture being extended to me, a belt from a person I barely know on a personal level. I need a drink, give me a moment. Gotta hydrate, you know. Yeah, I think it's funny that things like that happened and no one fucking responded, like no one cared. It feels like a researcher despite bearing no promise to better days. I take what little I can of it with me as I step out into the night. A cloudless night sky greets me when I walk out of the cafe. Beyond the tall building, a blanket of stars spread out before me. Please tell me there's a drawing of me kicking him in the balls. Damn it! I mean, that's okay, but it could have been a picture of me kicking him in the balls. Isabella once told me that the best place to view it is someplace outside the city, away from the noise and the obstruction lights. She's seen it once in her mom's hometown, and another time in a university she used to attend, and she asked if it's possible to try it out here sometime. I agreed with her at the time, it only because she appears excited at the mere prospect of it. We made those little plans among with Zachary and Ashton. Tough up until now. We never got around to it. Even so, I find myself enjoying this, despite being told it's only half the experience. Little things, you know, stuff you learn to appreciate when you're alone. Because at certain times, you get to meet people who are unfortunately born with the internet talent to ruin the mood and the scene with their mere existence alone. but a sample, the very driver of this car, fast approaching my direction. Luckily, he doesn't notice me. But the fleeting moment we pass each other by gives me a brief glance of the people he's with. Oh shit! The woman's there! Prick. I see Kylie! Prick. Kylie's sitting at the back seat with a serving of a bread pudding in her hands. And beside him, it must be his wife. Perfect. They are perfect together, you know. He takes a turn and disappears at the nearest corner. But throughout the night, the curious glimpse of all things to bother me has left me wondering what kind of person his wife is. And more than that, it's a simple prayer to the universe. I hope I don't ever cross paths with that douche again. Oh, the child was in the back seat. After having such an eventful day, anyone will think nothing will surprise me anymore. But here I am, standing at the top of my stairway, watching the odd scene unfold before me. Relief crossed my mind first, allowing my confusion.
What is she doing there?
Although, given what happened this morning, the question feels a bit appropriate to ask directed. What important is Isabella's here. She's sitting cross legs in the hallway just right in front of her room, with several paper enfolded and scattered around. Each of them seems as important as the next. More than once, upon giving the scene a quick scan, I spot Blur Reality logo at the topmost area of the pages. Having considered it looks like the mess made by a third grader working on a crouch time. The landlady will have a few things to say about this when she finds out. I have a few things to say about this myself, in fact. But something in the calm, focused manner as she holds herself as a present keeps me from disturbing her with that reminder. She's going through each paper with this intensely. Her brows are furrowed, lips a tight line, both hands moving in present movement as she shifts through each sheet. When she finds something of a note, she moves closer, nose almost touching whatever paper she's holding, and grabs her phone to call someone.
Hello. Sorry to call you this late. There's something I just want to confirm, if that's okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Thanks anyway. Not that one either.
It's a circle. She goes through the call after call, and after the last one ends, she shuffles through the pile again and dials another number. Is it work? I've never seen her this engrossed with her own work before, otherwise she would have noticed my presence at the moment I reached our floor. After her ninth call, she still appears obvious to it as I've arrived. When she lets out a loud sigh this time, I immediately take that as an opportunity to intrude.
Isabella, you know the house rules here.
At once, her hands jerks back to hit the cushioned wall behind her with a thump. There's the Isabella I know, glad it's still there. I allow her a moment to nurse it before speaking again.
Becca, you're late.
Yeah, I ran into a little trouble at the cafe. But I brought food for the two of us, if you haven't eaten anything yet.
As a perch she grins once I raise the bag of food I'm holding. Yet it doesn't reach her eyes. There's something of a cheerful glint in it this time. Just hollow tone for the sake of being polite. Ashton's right. Something happened.
Yeah, maybe later. I've got to finish this first. Just leave it here. I'll eat it once I'm done. Thanks, Becca.
You can't eat this here. You know how the landlady would react. Why are you even working outside? Your room's right there.
She's probably terrified of the room.
I know. Sorry. It just feels stuffy in my apartment right now. I'll go back inside once everything's been aired out.
That has never bothered you before.
Well, it bothers me now.
Oh, really? Just now? I find that hard to believe.
Yeah? Shouldn't you be happy? I mean, you've been complaining even if it's not your room. Now I know how you're feeling when it's messy, so I'm going to clean. Isn't that a good thing?
In spite of what's supposed to be good news, an inhale came from me, drawn out and slow.
It's a good thing, Isabella. Believe me. but you're as bad as Zachary at lying. What's really going on?
She hesitantly alerts her eyes. A surefire interrupted this as going to be one of those lengthy conversations that can possibly end with the other person angry. Again. It's one thing I like to avoid tonight at all cost. Still, I made the promise to Ashton and Zachary. If she doesn't talk to them, who else is she going to talk to? If she keeps this all to herself, who knows what might happen?
Isabella, you can tell me. Is it about your family?
A slight movement of her lips, though a frown is a reaction at least. I'm getting there.
Rose?
She merely shakes her head. Just a little more.
Come on, I know something happened. I don't know if it's because of Rose, but I know it's related to her somehow. You weren't here when I visited this morning, and both Zachary and Ashton are worried about you. If you don't want to tell them, you can tell me. Does it have something to do with work? Office?
It didn't. If I didn't know her, I might have missed it. She shifts then, her fists clenched tight and teeth biting her lower lip, and there's fear. A look of terror in her is the last thing I expected to see out of everything. Her mouth trembled briefly before she opened them. When she finally voiced it out, the words simply spills out of her mouth. One after another. All of it. Too true to what I promised her. I listened. Could this is something she's been keeping to herself, even from the two most independable people I know? The fact that she chose to tell me, this speaks a lot to me.
Becca, she was there again. Last night? In the office? Boss passed me all of Rose's workload yesterday. For the Ermengarde mansion. I had to stay late to finish them all. And then, when I was about to go home, I saw her. I saw her again. She was standing in front of me again last night, Becca. I couldn't get away. She was blocking the door. If I hadn't hidden myself, even if I made the tiniest noise, if she found me, Becca, she almost did.
Well, technically, yes, he did, but the game allowed me to reset, so you're welcome.
If she saw me under my table, I think that would have been the end of it.
You're welcome.
I'm scared. I'm so scared I won't be able to do anything.
By the end, her hands are trembling, and breathing comes out of respiring intent for long moments. I let the silence stretch out between us, let her sob fills it instead. But even as her soft whimpers die down, minutes later there's a heavy hanging in the air. Oh God. Not just from her, but it's also from me. From my expectation over this whole matter, from my own frustration over her stupid suspicions. When she could have just do us all a favor and grow a backbone. She may be younger, but she's not longer that young. It's about time to put an end to this. She can't keep going on like this. She's still got plenty of years to live out. And what if she's goes home? What if we're no longer there to keep her fear in line with what's real? What would she do then? I'm more afraid of her, for what kind of imagination will do to her than what some imagination monster could. But with the manner she's looking at me with right now, there's an expression in it, I hope and plea sworn together. She wants me to believe her this time. If it's like that, then what am I supposed to say now? We're not going to say that because we need her. Is this why you didn't want to go home last night? Yes. I don't even have to say for that. As much as I want to set her straight, a reminder this isn't what she needs right now. With that pouty face he's giving me, I doubt it'll ever end well if I push it. I know her, and when she wants to be stubborn, she's stubborn. But there are moments when she can be a crushing too, times when she'll be more accepting of what I tell her, despite her influence of disagree with it. That talk can wait. In the meantime, it'll be it'll be the ear that listens to her without judging her, without criticizing her, despite my own opinion of it.
You should have called me.
She stares at me like I've grown another head, and her laughter slips out before I can stop myself.
There? I can't do that! What will you do? Hit her with a book? You'll be dead before that happens.
I mean, I would technically hit someone with a book today.
That isn't what I'm talking about. After you got out, you should have phoned me. You didn't have to go to Zachary's.
The corner of her mouth crawls up, a sheepless smile by general definition. But this is Isabella. Her smiles are never half-hearted, never lacked her high spirits. In spite of this, I know everything going to be okay. Somehow. After all, she's learned how to pick herself up long ago, long before we met.
Oh, yeah. I don't even remember how I ended up in Zach's place. I was in a hurry to get out of the office, and it was already late. Besides, I don't really think you'll believe me if I wake you up over something like that.
Not really.
That's beside the point. True or not, there are people who will always be concerned about you. There's Zachary, but he's the first person you went to, and you didn't tell him anything. You just slept there. There's Ashton too, and me. But how do you think I'll be able to explain to your aunt or your family if you suddenly disappeared? Think about that.
Right. I'll remember that next time.
Nancy grins. Playful and mysterious, a plasmal to the old banter. It's still not quite there, but not quite as her usual self. But with it, I know we're bound to get her back soon.
Mom.
I told you not to call me that.
I send her elbow to her side for adding measure, but when laughter follows the familiar gesture, none of it is unexpected. This is what comfortable. This is how we found an equal ground despite our strank differences. So for the moment, I accepted things as they are. Afterwards, a hush stretched out between us. But Isabella, this is rare. This isn't her. Yeah, in this moment, she fiddles with the edge of another paper near her, and she hugs her near close to herself as let a pensive expression linger on her. It feels strangely fitting, as this is where everything's supposed to lead if we allowed it to get long ago. Second later, the moment is broken by the sound of the door easing opening with a voice begging some little peace.
How many times have I told you girls not to loiter around the hallway? It's noisy. Some people here are trying to sleep.
My bad.
Quiet down or go do your talking inside. I'm pinning a memo to your door the next time this happens. Millennials.
Sorry, we won't do it again.
You'd better.
The door closes and Isabella starts gathering the mess he'd made, carefully stacking them in her arms. And I'm trying to talk to my friend. Yeah, literally. At the loss of what to do, I help her pick them up, and for the first time I get a close look at it. Completely unintentional, of course. But it catches my attention nonetheless, and confused frown makes its way to my face. Why is he looking through this? I look at her for explanation, but she merely ignores the question in my eyes, takes the paper out of my hand and finishes cleaning up. You boomer! The last paper she puts on top is the letter, the one she supposedly found in the mansion and what probably the root cause of the odd behavior. I shoot her a questioning look for that too, but what she gives me is a smile, and in a halting tone, so completely unlike her.
Becca, I'll find a way out of this. You guys don't have to worry about me.
My god.
Anyways, I should go. I'll see you later.
Where are you going?
Getting myself some food. Don't wait for me.
Isabella walks away before I can stop her, before I can remind her I brought the food enough for the two of us. She quickly disappears down the whole stairway when I left standing in an empty hallway, holding 2 bags of takeout. One of them will go uneaten tonight. Just an instant passing thought, one that I don't dwell much on as I head back to my room. I ignore all of it in the same way I assumed I won't ever encounter that douche again. I do like the drawings. Becca isn't getting as much spooky stuff as I was expecting. The brief lull of the past 2 days has offered is nice while it lasted. Or as nice as it can, with the worry of Isabella whereabouts creeping up on me every now and then. She hasn't shown up after that last talk we had in the hallway, and the dinner I had since had been to a different neighbour before it spoiled. Oh my god. By all the means, this shouldn't be anything to lose sleep over. If you're going on work trips before, and usually for days or two, this might simply be one of those. It's often with a mention saying exactly where, but it's the door note that he has ended our last chat with that groans.
Like an ugly premonition.
Unexpected. Just as things start to settle and steady, Riven finally worms its way back to my routine. Thursday morning brings further disruptions to the now calm waters. With little care morning through still enough to ripple through everything. In retrospect, I really shouldn't seen this coming. Luxbunce is a small city, relative speaking. Compared to, say, London or Glasgow, it's nothing but a tiny mass of a land boasting a mere population of 68,000. But those numbers alone are nothing to scoff at when standing in a busy street. And if you pay close enough attention, face taking the crosswalk or riding the subway will soon grow familiar. How unfortunate that out of that number, it has to be the Theo fucking Luke, and you counted more than once.
Oh, you know.
Why are you
a few
here?
Problems popping up here and there that the agents failed to tell us.
Why are you
somehow.
here?
Nothing a few hired hands can't fix, of course. I would have preferred a place near the city and something that's new to save us all the trouble, but darling wife insisted. Who am I to say no?
Why are you in school? Because he's dumb.
Are you kidding me?
A smoke head in the first thing I see upon turning into the hall. I spite of the small crowd of parents and students gathering at the corridor for the Prima's career day. It's not that he stands out. He's pretty unremarkable at the first glance, frankly. However, it is his countenance that draws people eyes to him. The manner he carries himself with the confidence in the world, his mere presence dwarfing everything around him. I'm willing to make a bet he's also enjoying the attention it gathers him, especially the ones coming from the women.
What an ass.
Single glance of him, I know immediately that one way or another, if we ever bump into each other again, my day will virtually be ruined by some company. Oh yeah, because he could get me fired. He also extracted that air. The sort that makes you want to run him over with a lorry and pass it off as a unfortunate accident. Yes. If the rich white man upsets the school, then he should donate money to the school. I agree. With him, it's either you want to punch him or let yourself be charmed. There's no in between. I'll gladly do the honor of the former myself, but the arse. But alas, there are people around us. Now I'm stuck with having the face of the two.
I shouldn't have volunteered.
Oh fuck. At the time, helping out sounding a good idea, but no classes left today until after lunch. I could have up and early to stay at the teacher lounge, but worked on my lesson plan, but that means being left alone with our deported head and his chatter. He's a good man, but Cleveland's he can talk anyone's ear off. So the moment an opportunity rose, I jumped on it. It's simply a test to boot. Just deliver a whole box to the material or the few posters for the event. Maybe stay around to assist if time will allow it. I just wasn't expecting him to show up here. All the frying pans into the fire. Had I known, I would have stayed in the stuffed through our impromptu speeches about his life crisis instead. But what does it do? Going back is also out of the question. Well, unexpectedly heavy, the load. I'm carrying this. I hate to lung this for a trip back just because my pride can't take another second of an interaction with this guy. He's suffocatable, alright, but I had my fair share of dealing with teens of, more or less, the same temperament, all consider you're younger than him, and they listened. If he wants to be difficult like last time, so be it. But he can bet his sorry English ass I'm not standing down. Left with no other choice, I braced myself and stuck in a breath, mustering every bit of patience I have to step into the hall. My grip on the box tightens when I pull it close to me, and attempt to assume a low-key air as I assemble towards the room. The box is not big enough to hide my face, even with the small pile on top, but if it's all else fails, I can just hit him with it. Yes! Still, a small prayer forms in my head. If there's even one listening out there, please grant me enough resistance. Better yet, I hope he doesn't notice me at all. That definitely makes my life easier. Seriously, how hard can it be? He's standing a few ways from the door, and there's plenty of people between us to use cover. If I'm careful, I can just go in, hand in the stupid box to whoever is in charge, forget every plan of staying longer than necessarily, and step out as soon as I can. Easy as pie. But lucky would have it, exact moment I reach for the door, their hole, someone buried towards me. She latched on my waist, before stopping the sudden motion up with a gleeful squeal.
I knew it's you!
Uh-oh. The force of it nearly throws me off balance, sending the item stuck atop of the box, tilting dangerously to the sides. With a child added weight to my waist, pinning me to the spot of my both hands occupied, watching its only things I can be able to do. The short second in between slows everything up grandly as slides off the box small surfaces. Under different circumstances, this would have made it for a funny story for other times. Comical even. Until another set of hands reach out and steadies the poster, threatening to take a noose right to the floor. Oh god.
Oh, careful now, Daisy. Don't
Oh,
make a mess
fuck
here.
off. My entire body freezes. Upon hearing his voice alone, an internal impulse to hit him immediately bubbles up. Hit him. No, we can't. We're a teacher. We're in work. We can't hit a man. Yet. Okay. Before my limbs could catch up with what my brain is constantly screaming at me, he moves to take the burden off my arms. Angry gives way to surprise. Then to confusion. It is that the moment when instinct finally kicks in, I tug the box close to me before he can fully lift it off.
What are you doing?
What does it look like? You're surprisingly slow on the uptake for someone of your profession, aren't you?
We just can't hit him. He can harass us, and we can he can harass us, and then we can snap, but we can't hit him first. Not like last time.
Bloody, doesn't this school have people for this kind of work? So much for being a center of academic excellence.
I'm going to ignore that slight to my alma mater and my work, because that's not what I'm trying to get at. You know what? Why don't we just rephrase that to something you'll easily understand? Why exactly are you doing this?
Well, you look like you could use a bit of help. Have you seen your face while you were heaving this around?
Mister, I'm pretty sure if there's ever a look on my face, it's entirely because I saw something extremely unpleasant this morning.
Yeah, your face.
Aren't you a ball of sunshine today, Daisy? Having a bad day, aren't we?
I hate him.
Oh, you have no idea.
I'd put it away if I were you. You might scare the children.
Says you.
You don't have to worry about that. This isn't my department. I was just asked to bring these. Anyway, I can handle this myself, mister. The room's just right over there. Behind you, in fact. Now, if you could please move over and make way, it would do the whole world some good.
Keeping my voice level throughout is a miracle in itself, but regardless of how polite my request is, he doesn't budge. Did what I just said merely fly over his head? Were my choices of words really not that difficult to compare? Surely it shouldn't be that hard. I think he might be a little touched in the head. I like to ask him that, actually, but Kylie chose that instant to pipe in.
Don't worry, Miss Pink. Tio's strong. You can leave this to him.
Don't defend him.
My papa does it lots of times, but I'm not allowed to talk about it to anyone. Tio says it's
Confidential, Munchkin.
That's right. Tio's smart, isn't he, Miss Pink?
No, I'm still in the option that he's a piece of shit. But I must admit, his goddaughter excitement is contagious as always. A smile makes its way to my lips. She has yet to budge from her place, though. To be honest, I'm starting to lose some feelings at my stomach, with how tightly she's wound her arms around it.
I'm sure he is, Kylie. But I'm also sure he'll find better use for it elsewhere.
Like helping you out.
Oh my god.
Oh, well, that's one thing, but
You heard the kid.
no one's asking you.
Oh, you wound me, woman.
And I'm quite certain I can do more damage than that.
I love Rebecca. Queen.
Shall we give it a try? Again?
A pale, stubborn for Bertie illuminated this side against saying anything and settled for a brief show of discomfort instead. He's probably having flashbacks of the last time we met. His composure, and he's finally regained some of his bearing, says it all. If nothing short of a hilarious, if I do say so myself.
I'll have you know that threats never work on me, Daisy. Not in a million years, not ever.
You're assuming it's a threat.
Ha!
How cute.
That too. I'm not scared of you.
Yes, you are.
Just because you landed a hit.
Do go on. Keep telling yourself that.
It was a fluke, you hear? I was caught off guard and your damn book left a dent. If I end up in a hospital because of what you did, I'm sending the chief of Luxburn Police after you, woman.
You don't say.
Just give me that bloody box.
He snatched it out of my arms before a single word or protest exit my mouth and quickly disappeared behind the classroom. Not that it matters who brings it in now. My priority in Evercotto has already melted into an amusement. He's not bad once you figure out how temperament works. It's almost similar to a child. Although I still have to ask.
Kylie, did your Tio eat something bad before coming here? He's unusually nice.
Yeah, did he
today.
do some drugs today? A fletch idea, I know, but it's only a reason I can think of why this asshole is suddenly acting like a decent human he's quite frankly far from being. First and foremost, we didn't end our last meeting on a good note. If I were him, I'll avoid the very person who put a dent in his skull, as so he appears to put it. Why, he's acting friendly 2 days later.
He always is. But I made him promise to be extra nice to you, since you helped me so much.
Ah.
I think you're gonna be great friends.
Please don't. I quickly stumped to my urge to groan loudly or gag at that. Good job. He's the last person I'll ever want to be clumping with in this whole city, but Kylie doesn't need to know that.
Are you sure it's not something he ate during breakfast?
I gave him some jelly babies
Yeah.
this morning. Really brought me lots of them. Mama said I should share, so I offered half of it to Tio when he picked me up. He likes the black ones.
Oh, of course he does. Disgusting pig.
Oh, that's probably why he's weird. Jelly baby overdose.
He could have just done everyone a favor and choked on them while he's at it. Yes, I agree.
Do you want some? I've got more. I couldn't find Melody or Takanko this morning, but I'm sure they'll be fine sharing some of it with you.
No, I'm not really very fond of them. I was just asking. Oh, where's your mum, by the way?
Out of town with Papa.
An unexpected pang hit me at her words. The statement, though, instant enough, heavens a whole truck of memories from childhood. So earlier, familiar. Nights spent eating dinner alone, the numbers of days coming home to an empty house growing with each passing year, and sometimes several Christmas Eve spent with relative instead of my own family. Too late to think about it now, but when I remember the dull ache is still there, familiar though, I lessens by the year now. Beside me, Kylie takes a step back, having forgotten tired of clinging on me. There's nothing but cheer in her. She doesn't seem to be affected by the fact. Although it makes me wonder how much of it is real and how much of there is a mask. The loneliness is even one. What a lucky child.
Weren't they informed of career day beforehand?
Yeah, I told them all about it. Mama was looking forward to it.
And they still left?
Uh-huh. It's important business, so it can't be helped. They promised to tell me about it when they come back tomorrow, though. Papa said he'll give me a gift if I behave. I've been a good girl, right, Miss Pink?
You always are.
Yeah.
But they asked that they asked Tio to look after you?
Nope, they didn't.
No? Then...
It was supposed to be Tia. Mama likes her better than Tio, so she asked her, but she's sick and had to visit the doctor today. Oh, that's supposed to be a secret, by the way. Oh, but I think it's a bit confusing because Tio said she also went shopping.
What?
That's unfair. Don't you think so, Miss Pink? Mama doesn't allow me to go out when I'm sick. It's still okay, though, since Tio always buys me sweets before we go home. I'm gonna ask for a parfait today. Extra large. Don't doubt the Kako, okay?
Listening to her like this, it's easy to get a picture of where Kylie's fondness for the guy comes from. She's far from a demanding child unless you made a promise of some sort. She never forgets those. She'll make friends with anyone, whoever she is. Buy her a few things and voila, you're settled. No wonder she's so attached to the man. The douche probably showered her with gifts whenever he can. I can't say if the statement the same for the letter. However, he doesn't seem to be the type and probably does it for the sake of getting some peace and quiet whenever he's with the girl. Classic techniques.
But before that, I'm gonna show him to everyone first. It's gonna be great. No one else has a gazillionaire fairy godfather. Also, when I grow up, I'm gonna be exactly like him and marry someone really handsome.
Oh my god.
Like Tia did. That way, I can be awesome too.
There's some sort of misguided logic in that, but I like to correct. But before I can say my piece, douchebag steps in, fresh out of the commotion from the classroom behind us, and plows into the conversation with every subtlety of reckoning bull he has. No shite given, despite no one asking for his opinion.
Munchkin, sweetie, trust me. You don't have to marry someone for that to happen.
Oh?
I don't?
Just do your thing, darling. I'm quite sure you can do great things on your own without lugging around an extra baggage with you.
Tia married you.
Kylie drops a statement without any sort of preference, and the moment it lands, the douche finds himself grappling with the conversation.
Yeah, well, that's true, Munchkin, technically, but it's not the same thing.
A small frown creases the girl's eyebrow as he tries to compare her Tio rather virtually expressionation. It's not surprisingly either when Luke's tense under the child's questioning gaze. It's familiar. I've seen the same look a great deal of times before on Ashton whenever he's trying to say something he can't quite phase. Another second pass before the douche moves, kneeling in front of Kylie and placing both of his hands on either side of her shoulders. Kind is the last word I'll ever use to describe the man, but in this minute, there's a smile on his face I can't place, tender by the means of someone so obstreperous as him. It's a curious thing to see, if not a bit odd.
Listen here, sweetie. Tia was already a great person before she met me.
She is? But I don't see her doing anything. She's always at home.
Not always, Munchkin. Did you know she's really good at numbers?
You're good with them too. You helped me with my homework once.
Well, Tia's much, much better than me. She used to do maths with big numbers.
Oh, like millions?
No, gazillions. And she's really, really good at it. So much so that her dad let her manage anything that had to do with it.
I am happy that he's like stepping up and supporting his wife.
That was even before she met me, too.
Does that mean she's better than you?
Yes.
Oh, leagues, Munchkin.
Yes, Hannah's better.
Way, way better than I'll ever be.
Yeah, damn right he is. For some reason, I don't think he's still talking about his wife meant to power. His voice trails off. In fact, if I had not been paying closer attention, I wouldn't have noticed the change in him. The slight shift in his smile from one that's tender to something wistful, like remembering a memory he has always been fond of, but has often kept to himself. And the fleeting glance of it, a tiny instant part of the world somehow also shifts. A patience change, impression moving.
You know what? Why don't you ask Tia next time you have homework,
Okay, next time I'll ask her to help out.
See? No need to marry a good-for-nothing bloke.
Like you.
Can I also tell her to not stay at home anymore? If Tia's good at it, I'm sure she can help you out too. And Papa. He computes a lot of numbers too. Tia can help him.
You go do that. I'm sure she'll love to hear it, Munchkin, even if it's been a while since.
Another silence from him where then, without missing a beat, he turns Kylie around and slightly pats her shoulder in a gesture to end their conversation right then and there. Probably before he can say another thing he'll never intend to say to a child or not meant for to hear.
But off you go first. I think I saw your friend run off to the other classroom. The one with the pigtails? Go say hi to her. You still have those jelly babies to give her, yes?
Alright! But wait for me, okay? I've got loads more to show you. They put up my drawing on the bulletin the other day. I'm gonna take you there later. I'll be back.
Oh yeah, we still haven't seen her drawing. She soon disappears before the small crowd, none of the wiser, has suddenly changed to mood around her. Luke straightens as soon as he's gone, and the expression on his face grows less kind now that there is no to restore. Despite that, a chuckle still escapes me. His head quickly snaps at me, an assuming glare clear in his eyes. Although it's less threatening now, considering what I've just witnessed earlier. Funny how one person's impression of someone can easily change with that minute detail.
Why are you laughing like that?
Don't mind me. I just saw something, so don't let it bother you.
You know, putting it like that won't make me any less inclined to ask. What is it, woman?
Woman!
If this is another one of your threats, I've already told you it isn't going to work on me. That good teacher act isn't going to fool anyone.
What makes you think it has to do with you? I could have just remembered something funny. Not everything in this world revolves around you, mister.
I am not daft, Daisy. It's on your face for all the world to see. Now, say it so we can be done with this stupid talk.
I let out another laugh, more to delay than to express any sort of amusement over the matter. In truth, I don't know where to start. One wrong move, one wrong word, and might offend the man. You're good at handling her. You really think that? He is good at handling her. Yeah. We'll give him that. He is good with her, but he can be better. Ah well, regardless of how he reacts, it's not like I'll have to impact on anything between us. I've no plans of getting too friendly with the man, though he might have some good points it impresses on might. Or best treatment I can hope myself to give him is to stop thinking of him as a sneezing deuce. Besides, after seeing that look on him, I figure something like him can use a little compliment here and there. He probably doesn't get it as much considering how crows his own language can get.
Can't you act a wee bit polite for even a second of your life? It won't kill you. You'll easily get answers that way, you know? Instead of demanding things from people like a temperamental man-child.
A positive friendship point? Wow. I know,
I'll be
right?
nice when I want to be, woman. Don't tell me what to do.
And here I was just thinking how you're doing a brilliant job as Kylie's guardian. Was I mistaken?
Was I mistaken?
Was I mistaken?
What? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Stop playing dumb. I hate to admit it, but you actually seem to be good with kids. Possibly even better than most of the teachers here. What do you know?
I've expected him to just take it all in, bloat his ego more, and then even brag about it. Instead of what I get from here is a second responsible of a squawk. Or maybe even him choking on his own pride. I can't tell above the hub surrounding us. But when I glance at him, only a mortified expression is on his face.
No.
Oh?
No? You should be proud of yourself. At least there's this one good thing about you. Isn't that nice to hear? Pretty sure not a lot of compliments get thrown around about you, knowing how you are.
There are a lot of good things about me, Daisy. My hair, for one.
Yeah.
There's also my extraordinary good looks.
No.
Wax lyrical about those all you want. I'd be happy to hear it any day.
No.
Praise anything about me but that.
No. No.
What is so repulsive about it? Even Kylie likes you. Shouldn't that tell you anything about yourself?
Kylie is one kid, not even my own. Trust me, you do not want to see me bring a spawn of my own into this world.
Not really.
This will be an abomination.
Is that what you keep telling yourself?
Maybe. Is it any of your business?
Not really.
No. But if I didn't know any better, I'd say this is because you yourself think you're a little piece of shite and somehow it'll pass on. It doesn't work like that, by the way.
That last remark just came out. There might be a silver of a truth in it, but I shouldn't have praised it like that. Shite. Even for my own standard or kind of person I'm talking to, it's still quite rude. A sorry is already at my throat, but the minute I open my mouth, all I prepare myself is to display it. Most loss of the moment in the front of me. He has turned gaze outside, staring at some point past the building, blocking the view of the sky, equally lost in his thoughts. He's a vexing man under the many standard. However, this is the moment the morning light streaming from the windows lends his feature in a certain air. Softer, less serve than what he often floats. I might as well be looking at a different man. There's a tender note in his voice when he finds it, and a word muttered under his breath, not intended for anyone but himself. Nevertheless, it reached my ears, unintentional as it may be.
You're right. She deserves someone far better than me.
Agreed. All that talk about self-worth makes some sense now. It isn't some profound knowledge he pulls out his arse. It has come about because he's already been there, likely still stuck in the middle of it. Preaching about your own personal experience is easier after all. Less room for a mistake, more for a dose of self-loathing. What complicated man. Just when you thought you already figured him out, he does one thing and says the other. People like him are the most difficult to gauge, far harder to understand. Yeah, it might be exactly for this reason why some are eager charmed by him. It's the mysterious that catches him, of wanting to find out what underneath that bravado. I won't count myself among those, yet his winning personality isn't exactly my cup of tea. But sometimes once you get a glimpse of what beyond that macho impressionism with the man, that isn't such a steep hill to climb. If the comfortable silence we now share tells anything, that is. Perhaps this is close to friendship as we can get, several insults flung around with a few shared silence in between, and that's not exactly a bad thing. He's not exactly a bad guy either, despite the awkward start we had. Maybe it's for the reason that we insist throwing a little comment to lift his mood before leaving him.
You know, Luke, you're not such a bad person.
Is that supposed to make me feel better? I'm touched, Daisy.
Take it how you will, but a little attitude change would help. A lot.
Bollocks. Right, of course. Let me know when you're done with your lecture, ma'am.
And you can probably start by not leaving your wife out while you're having some quality time with your goddaughter. Who knows? Maybe that'll help change how the child sees her.
Where did you even get the idea I'm leaving my wife out? Have you ever even met?
No, but I did see her with you two last time.
His indifferent expression quickly dissolved into a confused squall while I met it with a matching post looks. It has only been 2 days, surely his memory isn't that bad.
What? When was this?
At the cafe, after you left. She was sitting right beside you. Kylie was at the back and you were driving.
Daisy, are you sure you haven't accidentally hit yourself with your own book? Because that damn thing's quite thick, and I'm really getting worried about you. It has only been a few days, and concussions can be dangerous. I suggest you have that checked.
Well, you asked. I just answered. It's pretty rude to make her wait like that, by the way.
How can I make her wait when she's not even with us?
What?
It was just Kylie and I that night.
Now you're just pulling my leg.
Luke inhaled long and drawn out. His impatient rapid changed the composable air around her. In the face of it, I tense. I've actually stepped into another minefield. Any chat I've had with him so far has been like this. Why has this surprised me, escapes me, but above my worries of offending the man is my own bewilderment. I remember well enough what I saw that night, yet he says something completely different.
Wifey was out with Kylie's mummy that night. She wasn't with us. How do you think I ended up on babysitting duty?
But in the front seat. And Kylie's...
Oh shit, why are you crying? Why are you crying? Kylie's sobs reach my ears first, and then her familiar weight returns around my waist again. Hot tears seep through my brows, and she buries her face in it, her arms winding tightly around me. Luke and I briefly exchanged worried glance as her own lips shut tight with concern. Her cries are soft enough to not attend much attention. Most of the visitors have been ushered inside the room by now anyway. Yeah, the kid is crying. Why? Though it still lingers, though, the watchers are a little group with great interest and concern. If I don't get a better handle of this situation, I might have feeling Luke will start yelling at everyone soon. Kneeling, I gently pull the girl away from me and cupping her face and wiping away the tears, creating a little trail on her cheeks. Her mouth is drawn in a miserable pout when she peers up at me.
All right, Kylie. Calm down. What happened?
It's my friend.
That's a little too vague, Munchkin.
Let her speak, Luke. Who is it, Kylie? Melody? Or was it the other one?
Yeah.
Did the two of you fight?
She nods and immediately clams up after, letting her sobs communicate the story instead, as much as her shaking shoulder can tell me. Right behind me, Luke gives a nervous huff when he shifts his feet. He must have not been used to handling children crying. What a wuss.
Sweetie, I won't be able to help you if you don't tell me what happened.
Second pass before she responds again. The tears has already gone when she finally mustered the strength to talk, her cries subsiding to mere sniffles.
I wanted to give her the rest of the jelly babies, but she won't come out.
This better not be involving the locker.
Where? Where is she?
In the little girl's room.
Okay.
Is she still there?
Another
I
nod.
won't say what's wrong. I kept asking her, but she told me to go away. Career Day's going to start soon. I saw the prizes Miss Alice will give us for good. She's gonna miss it.
Is that what you told her?
Yeah, she won't listen. She won't even take the jelly babies. After I saved it for her too. Tio Luke wanted to eat the red ones, but I told him it's not for him. Miss Pink, can you talk to her? Tell her to come out. And I'm really upset with her.
Just a little childish argument then. Times like this, I'm glad I teach teenagers mature enough to petty squaddles. I do love being around children, and I won't mind having one or two of my own in the future. But it takes a whole different level of patience to teach several of them. I honestly admire my college who really willingly took the challenge. I normally leave this to their homeroom teacher to fix this, but I really can't ignore the imploring look of she shoots me. That's another weakness I'll have to steel myself against before I even think about having one of my own. For now, I give in to it.
Okay, tell me where she is, sweetie.
I swear to God, if this friend is the demon, I'm gonna be so upset. Sighing, I stand up and I gesture her to lead the way. Luke trails quietly behind us. Oh, look at that face. Oh, there we go. We're here. Career day! Even with a small distance in between, he approached me as palpable, understandable, so no one wants to be caught in the middle of a children's spat. But in the end, this is all the part of my job. I can't just shy away from it, can I? Kylie escorts us to the Injustin Hall. At this hour, the corridor is the room lingering to the side of empty, save from the gentle rustling of the leaves, the twittering of the birds outside, and the tapping of the foot against the floor. The whole area stays eerily quiet. Not unusual, though. This is the part of the building reserved for club activity at the end of the school day, and with the rest of the school busy with another event, it's only natural for it to be this deserted. Come one afternoon, right after class, it's once again be filled with people. For the time being, I focus on the toilet at the far end, heading straight for it. Luke stays behind, to wait for the end of this drama instead, obviously not wanting to deal with another person's kid. Meanwhile, Kylie follows right after me, unusually silent as we approach the ladies' room. Sometimes, before we made the turn the hallway, she stopped sniffling and started singing a tune under her breath.
London Bridge is falling down, falling
Oh,
down,
shit.
falling
Okay.
down. London Bridge is falling down.
You fucking
my
kid.
fair lady.
This fucking kid. Probably to brace to calm herself, or maybe this is her way of preparing to pull her friend out of her sulk. It suddenly reminded me of another person. I make no remarks on it, however. It's all part of growing up, they say. Let her learn. The door slightly ajar, and when we get to it, the form inside, the sob of the girl echoes weakly, barely audible, even in this kind of hush. Turns out Kylie's not the only one upset about this. Shit. Despite the certificate, a smile forms in my lip. I call out to her friend.
Hello? Hello there? You're Kylie's friend, aren't you? Melody, is it? She's looking for you.
Children can be amusing sometimes. Granted, they can be expecting, especially around this age, but the enduring things about them waiting though, all you need is enough level of patience.
Career day's about to start, too. You'll have to come out, or you're going to be really late for it. Miss Alice won't be happy if one of her kids isn't there. I heard she brought little gifts for everyone who'll behave. Don't you want to receive one?
However, her cries show no sign of objecting, but they only grow louder. Not close to a wail. Alarming regardless.
Are you okay?
Gotta sit because I'm scared. From where I'm standing, it sounded like she in some kind of pain, and it's not possible. They do that at times, hiding from what allies them from fear or of repentment. If it's like that, closing her out might be useless. It might also make sense of why she chose the loo further from the classroom. Wasting no time, I gesture for Kylie to wait and amble towards the door, calmly as I don't alarm her. At the same time, a distant sense of deja vu hits me. It's been at this position before, behind a door, with someone crying on the other side. My calls ignored as their cries grow into a wail. Just this past week, actually. Even so, being in the same situation before doesn't bring any comfort. And putting up a child beside me is a thick undercurrent of worrying ticking into my stomach. Oh shit. I take one last breath, then I nudge open the door. It all happened. Oh, fuck me! It all happened in a span of a second. Well, I'm ready. I don't make it past 2 steps into the room. Fuck. Her cries untremblingly stops. Oh, please! Late footsteps shuffles behind me, coming to a halt at the door. My heart skips a beat. And when I turn, fuck me to the head.
Kylie?
What the fuck? I need some holy water.
Miss Pink? Miss Pink? Why didn't you help her?
What do you mean I didn't help her? My whole body became motionless at the sight of her, words catching in my throat and my heart pounding readily against my chest. What the fuck? This is Kylie, I'm sure of it. Yet nothing in the manner she speaks or the way she tips her head in question carries the useful, instant vibes she always brings with her. As if I'm merely looking at a dead, hollow imitation of a child.
Can't you hear her? She's asking for your help.
What the fuck? Get the holy salt! When it's not those that triggers a memory, it's those chilling eyes. Calling. Beckoning.
Why won't you listen to her?
All at once the memory returns to me. A tide that has recovered and now returned to the shore, that overwhelmed force, carrying images of a single moment of the day ago. Of a world passing by, a blur, and a feature I can barely discern under the little light there was. Not even a week has passed. In this minute, while I keep my eyes trained on the child before me, they returned with such unbelievable clarity. I feel sick. There are no horrid wounds this time, no blood streaming down the pale face, thank heavens. Just a lip quartered into a small twisted smile. They brim with vacuum never expect to see in a child, sending tiny pink prick of dead crawling up my limb and winding up on my neck.
You're a bad person. People like you deserve to die.
What the fuck? I can't breathe. Fuck off! Those whispers and lightens again. Please don't. Judging, mocking, taunting, each scratch words ringing sharp and true against my ears. My throat closed in. My whole body tense. A chill settled at the tip of my finger, every gone regard from the cold. With every single drawn of breath, any struggle from air or freedom, the cold wrapped around my body tight and dragging me down. A gradual torture to carry into another bodiless abyss. See, I'm being choked! On. And on. And on. Till I lose touch of myself and the world.
Help me.
Until the darkness claims me and, unexpectedly, a note. In the distance, a harsh and piercing cutting through the thick stupor, shattering the haze without warning.
Are you ladies done with your business here? I don't have all morning to wait for you two.
Luke, come in here and help me now. My eyes snap up and the whole world shifts into a pace with a ragged gasp. When I glance up, a different set of eyes greet me. Fuck.
Are you okay, Miss
Oh,
Pink?
fuck me, okay. This is not what I want, the way I want to die. Literally. No anger. No vile hatred in them. Just plain, seen concern. Bit by bit, become aware of surrounding and myself. A warmth steady slips back to me. I reach out of the nearby counter and steady myself. At some point, my knuckle has gone white with how rigid my grip on it is. It's over now, yet the tension hasn't left my body. The heart still hammered hard against my chest as I look vivid, and my breathing still comes in a short, hollow burst. Before me, Kylie fumbled with her hand, uttering, unsure what to do to an adult in what probably is a laughable state. I don't want to die in a bathroom and dying from a demon child that could be easily kicked.
Did you get sick?
Yes.
I'll call Tio, okay? Stay here and don't move.
No. No need. Just leave me alone.
Teal will know how to fix you. Oh wait, okay?
Don't leave me alone. I wish I could speak reassuring to her, but I can't shake it off. The dread is there, twisting at the inside of my autopation. Of what? I am no longer sure. Pushing myself off the counter, I break off into a run, brushing off the anxious look Kylie gives me when I gently push out of the way of the furrow of Luke's brows when I stumble into him outside. Whatever they both saw in my face, I cannot not to know. Bloody hell, I don't even even understand what's happening anymore. Okay. I'm very confused at how long this is. But I think I'm gonna end the stream here. Gonna end the stream here. I hope you guys have enjoyed. This will be posted on YouTube as always. Until next time, I'm not tomorrow Faz. I'm gonna pretend I did not see that emoji 3 times. Tomorrow we got Phasma. I hope you will be coming in to see that. And goodbye. Have a good day.